Welcome to This Explainer. I'm social worker Maria, and today I want to share some deeply empowering, science-backed insights about your brain health. I want you to imagine we're just sitting down together right now with a warm, comforting cup of tea. For years, you mothers have dedicated your entire lives to raising your families, right? Constantly sacrificing your own needs. You've been incredibly selfless. But today we are taking that immense maternal love and we're turning it inward. Today, we put your brain health first. So let me ask you a really honest question. Do you ever feel incredibly heavy and depressed for absolutely no reason? And when this happens, do you secretly blame yourself? Thinking things like, I'm just weak, or I just don't have the willpower to push through. If so, I need you to completely let go of that guilt right now. Literally, just drop it. Your exhaustion is not a character flaw. Today, we're going to completely shift how you view this mental fatigue, because modern science is actually offering us a massive, deeply comforting truth. Listen, if you have been feeling this way, you are so far from alone. Global public health research shows that over 28% of adults experience what we call brain fog. Think about that. More than a quarter of the people you see every day. This isn't just a simple mood swing. It's a very real phenomenon where your concentration just totally drops, your memory feels super hazy, and your thoughts seem to just crawl. I mean, we've all had those moments of walking into a room and completely forgetting why we're in there, right? But this is a persistent, significant public health issue across the globe. And here is the incredible paradigm shift I really want you to take away from this explainer today. The mental fog you are experiencing is not a problem with your mind, and it's certainly not a lack of willpower. It is a biological, metabolic issue happening in your physical body. It basically means your body's biological battery is just temporarily running low. It is absolutely not your fault, and honestly, the best part, because it's rooted in biology, it is entirely something you have the power to fix. I love how neuroscientist Nicole Vingola uses this fantastic financial analogy to explain it. Think of a degenerative brain disease like having a totally empty bank account. The knowledge or the memories are actually lost, but brain fog is totally different. With brain fog, the money is still in the account. The knowledge is all there. However, every single time you try to make a transaction, like recalling a specific word or trying to focus on a task, the processing speed is just agonizingly slow, and your brain is essentially being charged extremely high cognitive transaction fees. So let's look under the hood. Why exactly does this happen? Well, science points to three main biological roots. First up is neuroinflammation. Inflammatory proteins, like cytokines, actually physically block the connections between your brain cells. It's like a roadblock on a highway. Second, we have cortisol overload. When you endure chronic, ongoing stress, cortisol just floods your brain and physically shrinks the hippocampus. That's the area responsible for your memory. And third is a gut-brain imbalance. Lingering issues in your gut can severely disrupt your body's ability to produce serotonin, which is an absolutely essential chemical for clear, happy thinking. And this brings us to a really profound connection between our physical bodies and our minds. Dr. Christopher Palmer, a renowned psychiatrist at Harvard University, made this fascinating discovery. He found that when he treated his patients' metabolic health, for instance, addressing their diabetes, their severe psychiatric symptoms miraculously improved. Fixing the body's metabolism quite literally woke up the brain. Now, just a quick aside here. While metabolic health is super important, always consult a doctor before trying any extreme diets on your own. For the longest time, Western medicine took this very microscopic approach, focusing almost entirely on tiny neurotransmitters floating around in the brain. But Eastern wisdom, it is always intuitively known that the mind and body are one beautifully unified, breathing organism. They're a package deal. And what we are seeing right now is modern science finally catching up to this ancient insight. True healing really happens when we combine precise medical treatments with a holistic understanding that treating your physical body clears your mind. All right, so let's get into your brain reboot toolkit. This reboot happens in three incredibly practical steps, and I really want you to view these not as chores, but as profound acts of self-love. Step one is body basics. A healthy diet and good sleep are absolutely crucial, but let me tell you, cardio is pure magic. A good, heart-pumping workout literally pushes oxygen-rich, healing blood deep into your brain, washing away that fog. Step two focuses on the mind-body connection. Think deep, intentional breathing or yoga. And finally, step three is spiritual growth. Feeding your soul through continuous self-study and gratitude is just foundational for true cognitive health.
Now, if your brain fog is deeply persistent, maybe it was triggered by long COVID or intense medical treatments, please know that you have advanced clinical options out there. Research shows that things like hyperbaric oxygen therapy and non-invasive brain stimulation can significantly improve blood flow to the brain. On top of that, natural anti-inflammatory supplements, specifically combinations known as PEA-TL-UTE, are highly recommended by experts to help reduce systemic inflammation and get your body back into balance.
And hey, if those spiritual steps we mentioned earlier sounded a bit, old-fashioned or woo-woo, they absolutely aren't. Actually, top modern scientists emphasize that practices like gratitude journaling are cutting-edge neuroscience. They tap directly into neuroplasticity, which is your brain's incredible ability to physically rewire itself. When you practice gratitude, you are actively retraining your brain's hyperactive alarm system. You're calming down that stress response and literally taking back your cognitive power.
Which leads us perfectly into our final section, healing you, healing us. As you begin to heal your own brain and body, something incredibly beautiful starts to happen. If we only focus on ourselves, we'd eventually become totally isolated. But human beings are designed so that when our minds and bodies are strong, our overflowing love naturally extends outward to our neighbors. This is the concept of the global brain. Personal well-being and societal well-being are perfectly interlocked, just like gears in a clock. When a mother restores her health, that warmth blossoms outward to support her multicultural family, her friends, and the entire community.
For your whole life, your unconditional love has been the quiet engine moving this world forward. The comfort you regain through self-care becomes a powerful, natural magnet. Think about it. When you rest, when your brain finally clears and you regain your natural warmth, kind words will just effortlessly flow from you. It unifies your family and touches literally everyone around you. Taking care of yourself is never selfish. Never. It is the absolute ultimate foundation for community love. So, my wonderful mothers, I want to leave you with this final vital question. What new healthy choice are you going to make just for yourself today? Will you sit down and eat a really nourishing meal? Will you take a brisk, heart-pumping walk around the neighborhood? I passionately challenge you to take your very first step towards your radiant brain reboot today. You deserve it, and I am cheering for you with all my heart. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer today, and take good care of yourselves.